All right, gang, we got the Conacacaf Nations League quarterfinals kicking off this week. This is going to be a doubleheader for all teams involved. And in today's video, we are going to be giving y'all our expert opinions and predictions on how these matches are going to play out. And we may or may not be doing at least one live stream for the quarterfinals. We're not sure yet. You just got to hit subscribe to know for sure. And also to see all the other Conacacaf videos out on the channel. We probably got a million by this point. Now, before we get in match by match, I just want to say I was looking at the last edition of the quarterfinals, and we had 4 goals in every single one of the quarterfinals fixtures. And I was looking at my predictions, which we're going to get into, and I have to say I found myself being a little more conservative this time around with some of my predictions. Now this is a right-wing podcast, so maybe that's, a little bit of bleed over, But I'm very curious if we're going to see the same goal volume that we saw last time in this edition. And I'm curious what your score lines were, Connor, as we get through these one by one. You guys, of course, drop your predictions down below in the comments. Let's kick it off with the first match here. We're going to talk about Jamaica versus the U.S. men's national team. Now, the U.S. men's national team roster was released, and there's hella omissions, man. No Serginho Dest, no Balogun, Haji Wright, Gio Reyna, or Tyler Adams. And I want to ask the reggae boys watching right now, are you guys feeling emboldened by these omissions? Do you feel like this U.S. men's national team can be got? Or if you're a Yank, do you think it don't matter? You're going to beat Jamaica 4-0 anyways, and ain't nothing to it. Let us know in the comments. But Connor, how do you see this one going down?
Look, I'm going to stick with my boy. A couple of those guys, right? Dest and Adams. First of all, we haven't been playing with them for a while, right? We've been missing out on them for a while due to injury, and then Dest was suspension before that. So I think we got to just trust the system. We got to trust the system here. We've got a new manager. I think that any sort of deviation from my previous predictions when we were talking storylines would be a disservice to these guys, and I'm going to keep riding with them. We're doing scores on aggregate, right, for both games?
Yeah.
Outstanding. I think I'm going to go a 4-0 overall win for the United States or a 4-1. I think that Jamaica would be lucky to take. Oh, yeah, we're starting hot. If you guys came here for anything else, you're sorely mistaken. You in the wrong place,
You thought we were about to put respect on Jamaica. Oh, God.
Yeah, no. If you're here for anything else, head to the front aisle, talk to the cashier. She'll get your mom on the bullhorn, and we'll make sure she comes and meets you up there. I just don't see Jamaica doing much out here. Look, if they play their stars with a national team that is ridden with strife and back office shenanigans like this one, I just don't think anything's going to change. And frankly, any other prediction would require me, and this is really the main point, any other prediction would require me to have faith in Jamaica. And I cannot do that right now. Sorry to the reggae boys. I want to, but I have not been given cause.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been.
No, that's the one. That's the one. I mean, I'm going to keep saying it. Jamaica's greatest result in recent memory is beating Canada away in Canada off a somewhat lucky handball near the end of the game. Like, that's what it is. That's not hate. That's the reality. This team is just hype FC. That's what Jamaica are. Hype FC, zero substance.
But how much hype do they even have?
Bro, every time they get a new doing that, the hype starts again.
I can't.
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters either.
Now, where I will differ from you slightly is I think this is going to be a closer thing on aggregate. I'm kind of feeling a 3-1 to the U.S. I think they'll get a draw at Independence Park, maybe even win 1-0 away, and then come home and win 2-0, something like that. I don't see Jamaica scoring many goals here because they don't really score a ton of goals against good teams.
Yeah.
And the defense, it's going to be stubborn. It's going to be annoying. It's going to take the U.S. a while to break them down, especially no Gio Reyna. But at the end of the day, I cannot call an upset here across 2 legs. If it was a one-off, anything can happen. But
not across 2 legs. I do want to point something out to you. I think the first time that we sort of gave this a shot, The U.S. lineup hadn't been released, but you mentioned that we're going to be missing a lot of our strikers. I think I'm going to stick to a 4-1 now. I do think that we will be able to conjure some goals here. Frankly, I think it might even be better for us to try something a little more avant-garde. But yeah, I don't know if we'll have the largest berth of goals, the largest goal differential during this quarterfinal cycle. I don't think we're going to have that anymore. I feel less confident in my prediction, at least. I do think we're still going to leave with a couple really good results here. I don't think Jamaica takes a game.
I don't think they take a game either, and I think Ricardo Pepi, he's going to be serviceable at the 9. He always has been, so I don't really care. I mean,
Yeah.
you got depth for a reason. You got Brandon Vasquez still there too. I mean, the dude's just a big body in the box. The U.S. is fine. For me, it's the first official game under Poch. What does he come out and do? Because he has
Yes.
no guarantee of success. That's really what I'm going to pay attention to. So we both got U.S. winning this one. Let's move on to Panama versus Costa Rica. Let's take this one next. So I was looking at the squads when they were announced. Doesn't really seem like there were any big omissions from either side. Roderick Miller's out for Panama, one of their CBs, and Josimar Alcocer is out for Costa Rica, one of their young guns up top. Now, under caretaker Claudio Vivas, who's Argentine, he's from Rosario, Costa Rica have not lost a game. It's only been 4 games in charge, but he's got 2 wins and 2 draws. And at home, over those 2 games, Costa Rica have won 6-0 on aggregate. So I really think this first game in San Jose is the key. Now, I've hinted at this in other episodes. Panama have the key to the house. If the house is San Jose, they got the key. You left it under the mat, or you put it in the flower pot right outside. Coco Carrasquilla knows where it is. He's got a key. Because the last 2 times Panama have visited Costa Rica, they've beaten Costa Rica. I don't know when the last time any other CONCACAF team, I'm talking Mexico, US, Canada, had 2 wins consecutively in Costa Rica. I don't know if it's ever happened before. So I say all that to say the key to Costa Rica, cannot lose the first game. If you go back to Panama City and you're chasing a lead, it's done. And it's going to get ugly. You have to get a result. Ideally, you get a 1-0 or something in San Jose, and they just make it ugly in Panama City. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of going to go. I'm kind of leaning Panama by 2 or 3. I don't know if it's going to be a 4-1 or a 3-1 or a 5-2, something like that, but that's kind of what I'm seeing for this match.
I like a 3-1 aggregate. And I think you put it perfectly last time. My mind has been kind of set ever since. Like, barring any new information that comes out, you put it perfectly. You said if Costa Rica upsets Panama, it would be the equivalent of Suriname upsetting Canada. That is what this looks like. That is how dominant Panama have been away. They got the keys to the sets. Daddy's
That's
coming
how
home.
dominant they've been against Costa Rica.
Yeah.
I mean, Costa Ricans will be very upset to hear that comment, but you guys are owned by Panama currently. Like, you got to shake the monkey off your back.
Yeah,
They haven't
correct.
been able
We're
to do
being
so.
realistic. Yes. Look, listen, my only vested interest in this game is Coco Carrasquilla. That being said, I'd be I'd, I'd be ecstatic to see Costa Rica get a result. I'd be ecstatic. I want disparity. I want parity in CONCACAF. I want
It'd be
that.
exciting.
I have a vested interest. Yes, exactly. I just want to see good football. That being said, yeah, I don't know. I think we'll see one routing, and then I think we'll see a combined probably 60 minutes of good football from Costa Rica here. Outside of that, I think Panama's going to be running the show.
I will say, I have no confidence that Panama can keep clean sheets, though. I think they're going to have to win a shootout.
I think they
Maybe not
will.
a shootout, but at least, bullets from both sides. I think
Right, right,
Panama
right.
has the bigger guns, but
They're gonna be catching a couple strays, but hey, listen, you got the firepower. You got Carrasquilla on Overwatch. I'm just saying, Costa Rica is bringing a Glock to a Mac 10 fight,
yeah,
and baby, they got the banana clips.
pretty much. Now, I'm interested to see from a psychological perspective if the pressure being on Panama affects them at all. Because they won 6-1 against Costa Rica last time. They're the favorites. Hands down, they're the favorites. And they just had their player win CONCACAF Player of the Year. And the target is fully on Panama's back right now. Do they fold? I don't think so. I think it'd be massive if Costa Rica make it to the semifinals. That would be crazy, which I don't know if they've ever done, which is kind of insane. Maybe they did in 2019. Someone fact check us in the comments. But it's
You
time.
give you're
It's
giving
time.
me a sort of a heavy lies the crown sort of situation. These Mac 10s, they're gonna be a little heavy in the hand.
Correct.
You put the banana clip in, it's a lot of pressure, right?
It's more like going no scope is what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay. So they're not clinical.
Oh, Panama's definitely not clinical. That's the thing. That's the opportunity here for Costa Rica is that Panama do not have a 9 that is very
You,
good or
you know
consistent.
who they need? They need Dibu Martinez in goal. You need somebody to get in their head.
Panama or Costa Rica?
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Like an
Well,
intimidation factor in goal to scare away the Panamanians.
I mean, I'm glad you said that because they just had the greatest goalkeeper in CONCACAF history retire, Keylor Navas, and I don't know. I just don't really see a way forward for Costa Rica.
No.
Maybe set piece goal, and then we just chill from there. But we both got Panama winning this one. I'm gonna say decently comfortably when it's all said and done.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Canada versus Suriname, which personally I am the most excited to see this matchup. Yes, I'm more excited to see this than dead Mexican football versus Honduras, and we'll get to them next. Okay, I think this is going to be where the actual entertainment is inside CONCACAF. Suriname, 23 goals in their last 10 games. They're
Yeah.
scoring a lot in in 5 of their last 10 games. They've scored 3 goals or more. So this team either scores 3 or they get nothing. So, Canada, something to watch there. Canada does have Derek Cornelius, one of their starting CBs, out for this one. Is there an opportunity there? Maybe. Maybe not. Just putting out the facts. Canada's away record is okay. It's not great. It's okay. So I do not think that away leg to Suriname is a guaranteed dub, but I don't see Suriname beating Canada in Toronto or something. I just don't see it.
Hear me out. This is how I see this. The liege lord presides over his lands, yes? The way that I see this is that Canada and Jesse Marsh are the liege lords, right? They've been, allowing the serfs to take care of the field. They take a portion of their what is it?
Wheat
The
and stuff.
tributes, the wheat and
Mhm.
the good
Barley.
venison, the barley. Yes, they take a little
Mhm.
bit of the liege lord's meat, his crops, right? They do like a subsistence farming sort of deal, maybe save up a little bit of money, buy some actual bread and flour for the holidays, right? But I'm seeing that there's a faction here that said, you know what, maybe the liege lord has been a little too selfish. We need to take a little bit. We've got some upstarts here in Suriname. Now they've gotten it in their heads, right? Their liege lord is
Mm.
very far away. They're thinking they're living in the Kingswood. They're saying, you know what, we got to take an extra stag every fortnight, an extra stag or two every fortnight. They've been eating good, right? They're ready.
Okay.
23 goals. The liege lord has taken note of this. His advisors have told him, and you know what? He's got a couple knights that are out from injury because they got injured in a what is it, a jousting competition across the United
Jousting.
States.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. They're going to be fine. They'll be back. But the liege lord has to sally forth from his keep, and he's got to put the rebels in order. And I think we're going to get an honorable performance from the rebels. They've been eating good. They're solid. 23 goals. Nothing to turn your nose up at. But listen, you think you're good at archery because you've been hunting stags in the Kingswood. You're coming up against
Mm.
plate covered knights now. Okay.
Okay.
Cornelius is out. Bombito, if we're drawing a Game of Thrones parallel, that boy's got to
The
be the
mountain.
mountain.
Yeah.
He's got to be the mountain. I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I'm just saying. I think that we'll see a decent performance here. It's going to be an exciting fight. The Bards are going to write tales about it, but I think we all know the result here. We're looking at 50 seated knights and, some experienced archers here and a couple pikemen
Yeah.
versus, a bunch of guys with heart.
Versus some rabble rousers. Yeah.
Some rabble rousers. Guys who will take you the full 90 in the pub, but when it comes down to it, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they don't have the experience. So I guess I say that long-winded metaphor that I've just wasted 5 minutes of everybody's lives on. I think I got to call I think I'm going to call it 4-1. Same as the United States, same birth. But I think this will be more decisive.
Okay. I'm gonna go more disrespectful. I think it's gonna be like a 5-1, something like that for Canada. I think the Suriname storyline, I think it's cute. I think it's fun to talk about, but I have too much stock invested in Canada, and I have no Suriname stock. So I have to bet the farm that Canada are going to take care of business because I have no faith in Suriname's back line. And I probably have more faith in Canada's back line than I've ever had. So does it stay close away in Suriname? I think it does. I think Canada probably get a 2-1 in the first leg. It might even be a 2-2. I'm not sure. But in the home fixture for Canada, I think it's going to be pretty ugly for Suriname, is what I'm predicting. Especially if they lose at home and they have to go for it. I mean, I don't know.
So Jack's betting this month's wheat levies on Canada, and I think I'm gonna have to back you there. Yeah.
And finally, let's move on to Mexico versus Honduras. Now, at the last second, Johan Vasquez was withdrawn from the squad due to picking up an injury. Luis Palma is back in the Honduras national team squad. What do we think goes down in this game, Connor?
So whereas Jesse Marsh and the Canadians, that competition will be, the landed gentry, the knight, liege lord sallying forth to take care of the rebels in the Kingswood. This is going to be a bar fight. It's going to be a bar fight. It's not going to be pretty. We're all going to be having a good time, watching CONCACAF, looking forward to CONMEBOL, and then we're just going to see these two guys fighting in the back. It's going to be rough. If we do a live stream, just be aware I'm going to be wearing comfy clothes. If I'm able to make that, it's going to be a relaxed day. I have no expectations outside of the fact that this will be an ugly game. And you know what? I will give my hot take here. I'm going to back my boys Honduras. I'm going to do it. I'm going to outright stake my claim on Honduras. This is a beatable Mexico team. And I'm going to go with a 2-1. Because hear me out.
Okay.
If Honduras,
I'm here.
if Honduras can get a result at home, all they have to do is draw Mexico. And this is not a scary Mexico. It's still Mexico. However, you don't even have to beat them. You don't have to beat them in Mexico. Hold them to a draw and take a goal away from home, play absolute terrorist ball. You could leave here with a 2-1 Honduras. And I'm going to plant the challenge right here.
Okay. Yeah.
Show me something, baby.
Plant the challenge for Diache. I got the reverse scoreline. I think Mexico takes it 2-1. I think this is going to be, like you described, a bar fight. I think this Mexican squad is largely just dead as hell. There's almost no excitement in here whatsoever. I think the one thing for Mexico to lean on is even Honduras getting a draw in the Azteca just sounds impossible to me. Like, I think they would at least lose by 1, which means they need to win by 2 goals at home at the San Pedro Sula, which is exactly what they did last time. And it should have been more last time. Mexico were pretty fortunate. It was only 2-0 in that game. And also, Raul Jimenez is in the best form we've seen in years. He put on a solo Superman performance against the U.S. men's national team. For the first time in a while, we're going to have a striker that looks like he could be a difference maker for Mexico. Now, can the midfield get him the ball? That's a completely separate discussion and talking point, and I don't know the answer. The answer is probably yes, at least once or twice. Can Raul Jimenez do something with those 1 or 2 chances? He couldn't do any less than Santi Jimenez. He couldn't do any less than Henry Martin. So
it feels like the only way is up here for Mexico. And let's be completely realistic. Now that I've staked my claim on Honduras, Chino Huerta and Raul Jimenez are going to turn out to be the best center forward duo in the Americas. Just, for about these 2 match days, it's going to be Batman and Robin. It's going to be Superman and the Flash. The combo here is going to be insane. I'm going to look like a fool, and then I'm going to overcorrect next time, and they're going to get absolutely bodied. That's just how it goes. That's the nature of CONCACAF. It's the nature of my predictions.
It is the nature of CONCACAF, and that's why I don't think Honduras can do it. Yeah. Because if it was a one-off at a neutral venue, they got a really good chance. Really,
Mhm.
really good chance. But I just don't see it, dude.
See, that's a really good take. That's a really good take right there. They have a one-off chance. They can pull one upset. If they do something crazy and they hit 2 goals at home,
Mm,
we got a conversation, but I think they've only got a margin of 1 goal. Yeah.
if they win 2-0 at home, they will beat Mexico on
You
aggregate.
think so?
Yes, they will. If they score 1 at home or it's a draw, game over, Mexico win. That's how I see it. Very simple to me.
Maybe I'm just a hater, but not, like, in the footballing sense. Maybe it's just for you because you said that, and I was like, "No." You're agreeing with my take, and I'm like, "No, no." Some reason I'm not feeling it
It
anymore.
doesn't sound right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this game, we probably will do a live stream, at least for one of the legs. I mean, I don't know what we're going to see. I don't know what we're going to see. It's Mexico being the better team, the massive favorite against Honduras, who are just going to sit back and they're just going to try to have Luis Palma expose Corey Sanchez out left, which is exactly what happened last time. Will it work? Will it work the first time? Does it work again? I don't know. I don't know. But that's
Yeah.
Honduras' hope. Gotta leave San Pedro Sula with the dub, or Mexico take it.
Yeah.
It could be a Mexico like 3-0 or something if it goes back to the Azteca scoreless. I could see Mexico really turning it on there. But again, getting a victory away,
That's a big ask.
it's a big ask. We've lost 3 of the last 4 games away to Honduras. It's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy. A lot of people in the comments are telling us that we're reading into that last Honduran victory way too much and that it's irrelevant. Well,
I listen, I've been hearing way too much smoke from the Mexico camp since I was born. So,
valid. I can't even say anything. Totally valid. So I guess those are our official predictions. We're going with 0 upsets here. Well, I guess you're going with Honduras. That's
I'm
an
going
upset.
vamos Honduras. Vamos Honduras.
Okay, you're going Honduras. We're going on ag. We're going 1 for 8 on the upset meter here, which honestly for CONCACAF isn't that bad because we don't really get too many upsets. 1 is the max we are seeing. Like max we see a Jamaica beat Canada again. Like max we get 1. If Costa Rica and Honduras go through, then Central America is up tremendous. I'm just going to say that.
There will be a land invasion through Florida.
How do you do a land invasion through Florida?
Well, no,
It
what
has
I'm
to
saying
be.
is they'll hit Florida and then they'll go up through the
Oh,
peninsula.
okay, okay,
Yeah. Sorry.
okay. Because last time I saw a map, which was a while ago, there was not
No,
a land bridge
it'll be an
connecting.
aquatic assault, or I
It will
guess what
be
is that? Amphibious, ironically enough. Yeah,
amphibious,
it'll be
amphibious.
an
Yeah.
amphibious assault through Florida. They'll take the peninsula and then up through there. Spearheaded by Chino Huerta, of course.
Of course, he would look good at the head of an army. I'm just going to say that.
Listen, man, with that head of hair, you get him the nice like Muammar Gaddafi coat. That's a dictator general right there.
Correct, correct. That guy would look great in like a junta uniform. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
With a cigar in his mouth. Oh yeah.
Hey, watch out for the next Mexican military coup. All right, guys, we're gonna end the episode there. You guys let us know your predictions down below in the comments. Final reminder, we're gonna do a live stream for one game, so follow the channel for that. You can check us out on social media as well. We make the live stream announcements on there. Drop a like in the video if you enjoyed, and we'll see you guys in the next one.